So if we could introduce ourselves, please, from over there.
God. Hi, I'm Jeff, aka Topspin the Fuzzy. Hello.
Woo!
Hi, I'm Jaxie.
Wait. We got one.
Tom.
I'm Tom from Flash Gits, and it's great to be here.
And I'm Don from Flash Gits, also with Tom.
Yeah!
Yeah.
I'm Vivian, or Vivzy Pop.
And I'm Mick. I'm Rice Pirate. Thank you, guys. Love you. All right, cool. So if you don't know these people, you should, because they're really freaking talented. And yes, Tom is actually joining us. Tom from Flash Gits, the other half of Flash Gits, is joining us via satellite hookup through what? England? What's his home address?
England.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't give us your home address.
Yeah.
Yeah, England. Awesome. Well, thanks for
England.
joining us, Tom. We really appreciate your flattering photo and accurately beady red eyes. Very nice of you.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mick. I'm
Yeah.
entirely real. I'm right here.
All right. Awesome. Cool. So if you don't know us, that's fine. But here's a little sampler. We put together some clips just in case you may have seen some of this stuff on the internet. And this happens to be made by the people that are sitting on this panel. So freaking hit it, sexy boy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Not a popularity contest, guys. Okay. No, but you can clap. That's cool. Not one. Oh, that guy. The guy. Yeah. I love that scene. I don't know who you hired to do the music for that. All right. Awesome. So clearly a very awesome group of people here. Now, to start off, like I said, we were going to have some questions from the internets. They're short, they're quick, there's just a handful of them, but like I said, this is also a good time, not only to listen, but if you got questions gestating or not, it's a good time to get inspired to have questions. And when you are ready to have questions, we're going to have everybody line up in front of here in a single file, very polite and cordial line. But for now, let's rock and roll. All right, so from Raymond Estevez. If you were to go back in time and tell high school you what you were doing, what would their response be?
Starting with me?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, God. All right, so it would be one of two things. It would either be like, wow, that's amazing, or what the fuck are you doing, man? This is a terrible idea.
Why aren't you a Let's Player, dude?
Yeah. That's obviously where the money is. Jesus. That's my answer. I'm sorry.
Probably tell myself I sucked. And to try harder and do better and keep, self-doubting.
Go ahead, Tom.
I'd be pretty fucking stoked. I thought I was going to work at McDonald's, so it's pretty good to be a cardboard cutout.
Good? Yeah? All right. we have to kind of like prompt him because I don't know how the audio comes in and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. Like, I would rather be a pretend important YouTube person than like a, I don't know, sandwich artist.
I definitely would. I mean, I would probably tell my, or I would probably react like crazy because a lot of the things that I'm living now are things that I dreamed of when I was in high school. So it's like, I would just be like, yeah, you actually get to meet those people that you really look up to, and you know, you get to work with them, and I'd probably freak out. So.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah. I think high school me would appreciate what I'm doing. I think high school me would think that whatever I am now is making like a ton of money and really cool and all that kind of stuff. But I'd have to be like, no, dude, it's not what you think it is. And future me, I already know this. That's what's weird is I know that future me will look back at now me and be like, what a nerd, what a dick. I know that. So I don't know. I guess yeah. I mean, the past me, I'd be psyched where I'm at, but I definitely need to go a lot further. Yeah. The end. All right. Thanks, Raymond. All right, cool. Next from the Argo Ninja, we have what has been the weirdest glitch/crash you've experienced with Flash and or whatever animation program you're looking at.
Weirdest glitch I would ever have with Flash is using Flash in general. Yeah, so just working in Toon Boom, sometimes just importing certain image files is just like bad allocation for no reason, and then trying to do it again, it works. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what the fuck was wrong the first time? Sometimes it doesn't like image files. I don't know. I guess.
I had this one thing that happened to me. I was saving a file, and it crashed while it saved.
Oh no.
And I think I was working on AdminCraft, and I had everything in one FLA. And I could not open the file again, and I was this close to finishing. And I got the help of the amazing Mike Welsh from Newgrounds.
He was able to uncorrupt a corrupted FLA.
Hang on. He broke into the FLA and he hacked the FLA, right? And he took out the code that was corrupted. He was like, it's fine.
That guy is amazing.
But he saved my life. That was true story.
Yeah. Mike Welsh, we love you, creator of Swivel.
Oh yeah, he made Swivel and he's amazing.
Yeah.
Was that?
I think my
animated?
biggest glitch is that I work with Don, the guy to my left, and he never remembers to save ever. So we just lose piles of work. That's my glitch.
Says the guy who doesn't actually use Flash. You're just the. Yeah, that's right, Tom. You butt.
Shut up.
What are you gonna do? You're in England. What are you gonna do? Kick my ass?
I've got a louder voice than you. I'm coming from everywhere.
Jaxie, was that animate? Or which version of Flash was it?
CS4?
CS4. The fucked thing about fucking animate is it has the auto recover thing built in. But more often than that, that actually crashes it and you lose both files. So
Wow.
Thanks for helping.
Don't help me.
Yeah.
I don't know, there was that it was like an Assassin's Creed glitch recently where their faces would disappear, but you'd still see their mouths and their eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
So the way we rig our characters is the mouth and all the pieces of the face are separated, but the actual head itself got corrupted and just vanished. So I had a bunch of characters walking around with just mouths moving. Pretty gross. I don't know.
For me, it's pretty similar to Jaxie's actually, because I don't use Flash really, but when I was in college, I used it, and it was I had almost finished an entire scene inking it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm almost done, and it crashed, and I lost everything, and I had to redo it. I mean, I save in multiples, so I have a rough already, and then I make a new file for the ink, so I had the rough still, so it just was completely not inked, and it's been all day doing it, so I just went back and I finished it in a few hours just angrily. It was a pure rage, just pure anger. So I got it.
Mine isn't really a glitch. I mean, most of them are pretty common. Like, yeah, if it crashes while you're trying to save, you get a corrupted file, and you're kind of fucked unless you have Mike Walsh on call. But yeah, no, I would say that the worst experience I had, it wasn't quite a glitch. It seemed like a glitch at the time, and I kept asking everybody for help. And it was, I had a bunch of symbols, and they weren't graphics. If you don't know anything about Flash, this might be a little confusing. However, symbols play audio clips within them, okay? And graphic symbols do not. And not only that, if you have a layer that's set as a guide, you don't see it. When you're playing it, you don't think you see it, but it sometimes shows up like while you're looking at it. So I had a bunch of stuff set as guides because I thought it was like a motion guide, but it actually wasn't showing up, but they were elements. And then I also had voice clips inside of symbols. And so when I played it, there was just like half the characters weren't there, and there was like double audio at times. So like when there was a scream, like my entire like speakers were like peaking and stuff like that. So it wasn't more of a glitch; it's just me being an idiot, I guess. So that was mostly it. Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. Next we have Insignate asks, what do you do to keep your spirits up when you're going through the tough parts of starting your animation career? Are you doing it right now? Drinking?
Yeah, drinking is probably one up there, definitely. Jesus, man. I guess just trying to connect with the other artists and like learn new things is a really good way of keeping your spirits up. You're just exposed to new stimuli, I guess. That's what I try to do aside from drinking. Yeah.
Have you ever had a tough time in your animation career? Ever?
All the time.
Really? You?
What are you trying to say?
No, you're always so positive. What do you do during those times? How do you get out of that? How do you deal with that?
I mean, I think the like goal, like finishing something, feels really good, like really fucking good, and just I don't know. Getting there is the hard part, though. Yeah, staying motivated is. I don't know. You just gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to answer that.
Fake it till you make it.
hard
Do
one.
it.
I don't-
Just
I don't-
fucking
I don't-
do it.
I don't really drink, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I think like you got to make sure every other aspect of your life is as flush as it can be. Because if everything else is like dragging you down on top of the fact that you're kind of not getting where you want to with your animation, then it just kind of makes everything that much worse. So if you can like get everything around you, your environment like straight, I think that's probably the best way to get past it.
Yeah, for sure. I can't work in like a messy room, like a messy environment, you know. So it's just stuff like that that just kind of starts to stack on your psyche and makes everything difficult. Tom makes fun of me though, like when we're writing or stuff, or we like get in an argument. I used to just go for a drive. Like it would just be too much, so I'd get in my car and I'd like circle my campus and stuff when I was in college. And now it's become like a meme. Like, all right, Don, just get in your fucking car, you know, take off, go for a
Dude,
drive.
it's like the scene from Rocky 4 when he's like driving in the car to no easy way out. It's literally how melodramatic it is.
Blast 80s music with
Yeah,
one
for
tear
real.
in your eye, the wind in your hair.
Well, that was the thing about Transformers. Is we only listened to like Lion, you know, from the '80s, from like the
Yeah.
soundtrack and stuff. So I don't know. It was very apt. It was a very frustrating project. I don't know. We got through it though, with a car and a radio.
I mean, I'd say like for me, like what gets me through is just kind of focusing and like taking a lot of breaks, because like animation takes so much time. I have the problem where I feel like I'm taking too long with something, and like people I want to work with or projects I want to do, I'm running out of time, which is kind of silly because there's plenty of time to do it. But you get this feeling that you're like, oh my god, you know, only have this certain amount of time to do this, or nobody's gonna want a part of it, or everything. And animation takes so much time. That's a big problem. So for me, I kind of have to step back and remind myself that this process takes a long time, and you know, actual studios take years to do some big projects with teams of people. So you know, it's okay to take time, and you know, as long as like they were saying, your environment's good and everything, and like everything in your life is good, like, and just finding like little comforts and lots of breaks. Like for me, it's music. I'll just take a break and listen to music for like a few hours, just completely zone out and jam out.
Jam
Nice way to do
out,
it.
jam out. Nice. Jam out. Just
Just, yeah.
that's what I'd love to see. You just jamming out.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
Oh, I know. It's amazing. So Dom, actually, or Don, sorry, we are very. So, just so you know, the fact that it's Tom and Don, Dom just kind of comes out of the mouth. You guys, that is kind of your Brangelina kind of name, by the that's what it is. Anyways, I'm also the same in terms of keeping my space super clean, despite how I appear and act sometimes. I do a lot of cleaning. I like to. It's almost a little obsessive, but not really. My roommates think that just because my roommates used to be people like Psychic Pebbles and Zach, where they have like just freaking like rats running around the room. So, that doesn't really count. As far as cleanliness. So I would say that there's that. That's keeping everything organized. I like to make sure even my desktop is organized. My files are organized. So when I open my desktop, I'm in a clean room. I'm half naked at my standing desk, and there it is, just an empty desktop ready for one file. But besides that, as far as staying really motivated, I was going to say, and this isn't like a sales pitch, but I will say people who have online communities, whether that's in any way a Discord chat or whatever it may be, it is probably one of the best ways to stay motivated, to share it with the people who aren't staring at it all day long, and they may or may not be artists, but to get their opinions or their snickers or even their criticisms, I think is really, really helpful. So if there's any way to make sure that and that can happen in a Twitch stream too. I think as an animator, it's easy to get bogged down if you're in a bubble. So if you can find ways of reaching out to people, maybe that's even posting progress in like a GIF form on Twitter or something like that, just so you can get, and is that asking for positive reinforcement? It kind of is, sure, maybe. But at the same time, it's still motivating in that it's like, oh, that's right. I've been staring at this forever, but other people are possibly excited by this, Thanks. I'm glad you agree. That's very nice of you. Awesome. All right, cool. We've got another one. We've got from RJ Kittens. They say, what innovation, application, or device do you have now that you didn't have or wish you had when you began animating? This is the second to last one, then it's all you guys, so get ready.
It's not so much any sort of program or device or anything. It's just tricks that I've learned in the software that I already use that I wish
That's
I already
advice.
knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just certain workarounds that I did in the beginning that I absolutely did not have to do, and I learned that later, and thinking back on it, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I sure did waste hours of my life doing this one effect.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, that's about it. Just tricks and knowledge, not devices or anything.
But he's not going to tell you any of them. You got to go to his website, jeffers.com, to pay $19.99 a month to get all the. No, I'm kidding.
Flash is just so fucking broken. So I mean, it's
find the
a
tricks
thing
to
that's
work around it.
it's a thing that's
Flash,
great at doing one
you're
thing,
just fucked.
but it doesn't feel like it was built to do that one thing. So
I
you
mean,
just
it wasn't.
come up with shit
Yeah,
to
it
make
wasn't.
it
It
do
wasn't
the thing.
built to do what
Well, no,
we're
no,
doing.
not originally, because it was like a website authoring tool or something.
The graphics
It was like
developer.
Flash ads, like the Flash ads that you saw with the orc
Right,
effing
right.
the elf, with the big huge tri-wiener. Those were all made in Flash, I think, back in the day.
I think
Flash
Adobe
Flash.
kind of stepped away from that too.
I don't know. What do you think of
Yeah.
Adobe Animate? I mean, we say it wasn't, that Flash wasn't for animation, but then they just renamed it.
Right, and I mean,
I
and
haven't
that's,
even used it.
that's
Yeah.
about the size. I wouldn't
I heard that
recommend
it's
it.
actually worse.
Yeah, I heard it's worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to go off a top spin, I'd say the same thing. Just years of banging your head against the wall with this thing, you come up with all this stuff that's a little difficult to explain, but it saves hours. And they're fixes that you could never find with a Google search because it's such a specific fucking tiny
Thing that you're doing,
you
yeah.
know? So I don't know,
No, I agree.
Jackson.
I think the biggest thing that I learned from Flash was that helped me so much. Onion skinning.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that button existed for years.
Yeah, and Toon Boom, that's right next. It's
Oh,
on
great.
the timeline. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, when I figured that out, it was just a door opened and I walked through the door.
Ironically, one of the very few actual animator friendly, like centric features in that program.
I know, and it's like just this tiny little button.
Yeah. If you don't know what onion skinning is, it's when you can kind of see like a faded ghost version of animations past that lead up to one entire sequence.
Past
right?
and before.
Yeah, past and before. Right, and you can set like how long you want it to be, so you can kind of see the full spectrum of the entire animation in one sequence.
Helps you smooth out
Yeah,
all those imperfections.
Yeah.
Make it look good.
you have to be a fortune teller.
But I just count my blessings that we don't need to do like pen and paper anymore and all that crap. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
True that.
A good video exporter, like back before the days of like Swivel and stuff, there was no like clean way to make SWS into videos, and that really fucking sucked. But it's good now.
I just remember being like a broke teenager trying to figure out how I could get like the sketchy Flash decompiler or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they had I mean SWF to MP4 converters or whatever. Like they had those things, and I think they worked like Swivel, but not as well. And as a kid, you're like broke, so you're trying to make these cartoons, and I don't know, you get into like torrent sites and stuff, like this random fucking program no one's ever heard of, but Swivel saved our lives.
Yes.
I wish that guy was
Mike
here.
Welsh, Mike Welsh, thanks.
Mike Welsh.
Thank you, Mike Welsh.
Mike Welsh.
And Stanford.
Viv?
Oh, is it? For me, it's definitely just the program TV Paint.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If I had a program like, because when I was younger, like I used paper and pencil and like the sticky notes. Like I actually didn't do like a actual and like I didn't touch Flash and everything until maybe like my last few years of high school. And then when I went into
Did you have
SEA
electricity in your house?
yeah, no, like I had the internet and everything. I just was really primitive. Like I used to find like these really weird like no-name animation programs on the internet, and they were just really weird. And I remember thinking like, oh my god, I'm so professional. And then everybody had like like these really nice animated cartoons on YouTube and stuff. And I was like, what are they using? So I eventually got like Macromedia, which was really nice. I actually
That was
really liked
Flash
that
8,
one.
right? That was the first Flash?
Yeah, like a really
That's
old one.
still actually one of the more stable ones.
Yeah, it has a really nice ink feature.
Yeah.
Like I still like that one, and but I didn't actually do like a color thing until my second or third year of college. So I was really late to the game of programs. But the program TV Paint, it doesn't have a lot of the bugs that Flash does. Like, and I know there's a lot of advantages to Flash, but TV Paint is a much more like traditional media. So it's kind of like Flash combined with Photoshop. So it's got more of the like Photoshop painterly stuff or pencil-y stuff, so it looks a little bit more traditional. It just fits with me because it's very simple. Like there's no real, I mean, there's probably lots of shortcuts and stuff, but I'm really primitive. I don't know any of them. I don't use shortcuts. Like on the keyboard, I don't even know how to do it. So.
This panel brought to you by TV Paint.
I'm not just advertising.
No, on the opposite side of things, I love shortcuts. In fact, my favorite tool is a 24, and you guys might have this for other things like games or other programs, but I got a 24-key keypad. It's an external like USB. I can plug it into anything, and it's programmable. So if I have like my Cintiq Companion, which is, I don't like to use the keyboard, I can program all of my shortcuts into this 24 keys, and I can just plug it into my computer, I can plug it into my Cintiq Companion, I can plug it in anywhere, and, I have all the keys available, which is actually really handy for me. You're very talented, I'm not, so it helps me. And then I would say that the actual technique / whatever that I learned that was really, really handy was editing multiple frames at the same time. You guys, know that one? Okay, I did not know that one. I didn't know that one. So you could highlight like 20, 100 frames, and you could highlight one thing, and you can edit like that symbol or whatever. You can skew it, you can recolor it, you can freaking do anything to it over hundreds of frames. And before I knew that, you just went one frame,
Oh my god.
next frame, next frame. I'm talking days. It was like, yo, dude, that foot needs to be this color, or wait, we need to resize this guy's head. Okay, hold on a sec. I'll get back to you next week.
Yeah.
And now it's just you highlight it, one go. Done. It's done. Yeah. Love it. Love it. All right, cool. Last one. Hold on. This is the last one from our internet friends. All right, cool. So this is from Divided by One. Now I want you to imagine this scenario. You have a deadline, okay? We're talking, people are emailing you, it's crawling right up your butt. You really got to make this thing happen. There's no excuses. You've already tried to delay this thing twice. Enough of your excuses.
Fuck.
However, you've only got like 15 frames to go. You're really close. You still got a night of work, but you got to get this done. Your Cintiq pen breaks. Okay? Now, do you go on Amazon and try to do some kind of one-day delivery, or do you MacGyver the fuck out of that thing and just like figure it out? Like go online and be like, oh, can I take apart a microwave and use, a car battery and make something happen? Or are you one of those people that's like, you know what? These things happen.
Well, I guess I'm one of those people that's like, well, these things happen, but more so like, goddamn, fuck this. I'm gonna order it online. I'm gonna go out tonight and get fucking blasted. Fuck this. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna wait till the next day and finish that.
I mean, if I can't fix the pen.
You can try. There's
I
the
tried and
internet at
failed.
your disposal.
Right.
At your
I
disposal.
looked up
there's-
all the guides I could to take this friggin' pen apart, and it didn't work. Realistically, I'd probably either get a friend, and if that didn't work, I would probably use the mouse, actually. I'm getting pretty good at using like the
Oh.
line tool and like kind of manipulating the vectors into place, and then converting the
You're a stronger
lines.
person than I.
And then converting the lines to fills so you get the same kind of
Yeah.
effect as the brush.
And then you can edit those lines too, just by
can edit the
dragging
lines,
it to
yeah.
the thing.
It's
Yeah.
great.
No, that's cool.
Works.
Isn't that how Stamper worked for a long time?
I think so. I think Stamper did that for
Fucking
a while.
maniac.
It's a
Yeah.
good way.
He would sketch his characters like traditional, like in a sketchbook, I think, and then he would scan his pictures in and just ink them with the mouse. Like he was against the tablets for a long time.
Lewis was also all mouse too.
Super clean.
Yeah.
So there's a way, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot easier than you just got to try it. You know?
I mean, I did pixel art with a mouse for a long time, but I can't imagine animating with a mouse. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I
15
respect
frames,
people.
Just
Like-
put
Yeah.
up with it. It's 15 frames.
But I'm not gonna do it. Fuck that. Fuck you and your mouse.
No, fuck
Good for
it.
you. Like, I'll give you the award. You can take it, but I ain't gonna fucking do it. Keep your fucking mouse.
We're not all FBF elitists over here. You know, it works
It's not
for
even
twins.
that.
It works
I
for
just
twins.
I can't go back. I feel like every time you upgrade in your technology, trying to go back, like have you ever tried to go back to a Bamboo or an Intuos after you've used a Cintiq? It's like trying to animate with your freaking like butt cheeks.
No, it's not.
I'm not kidding.
Right.
It really feels like your whole body is in
No,
it. Like,
it's
what is
not.
happening?
When you're in a pinch, you can adapt.
See, that's because you're a real artist.
Survivalist.
Yeah.
I think Adam Phillips who uses an Intuos. He doesn't have a Cintiq.
Does he really?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think he's got like the fucking massive one. But
Whatever. Whatever.
what about you, Tom?
If a pen breaks, I just send you for a drive.
Go pick one up on your way out.
Yeah.
What about you, Viv? What do you do?
I'm kind of one of those people who expects that sort of thing to happen. So
Oh, you already
I-
have like.
yeah, I'm one I'm one of those people that like when I'm really in the zone of something, that's always when stuff goes wrong. So I just want to expect it, and I would probably cry, and then I would
Oh, no.
then I would order one, and then I'd try to fix it, and cry more. So
Oh, so you do both essentially.
I do both
You'd be
while
buying
crying.
one and hacking a solution together.
yeah, and
All
then
right.
and then yelling and then getting mad.
Yeah. No, I like Jaxie's solution. I just find somebody in my neighborhood that had one, and I just take theirs.
That's probably the best.
Yeah, that's what I do. Because that actually happened, and I asked Shad for his. And that's what I had to do. The end. Yeah, that's not really a problem for me. Because yeah. Awesome. Cool. So that is our questions from our internet friends. I know we missed them. We wish they were here with us. Some of you were clapping. Okay, yeah. Why not? Why not? Why not? Thank you, internet. All right. So now that those assholes are out of the way, we got the cool people in the room today. Any of you guys, any of you guys dare to step? Oh, frippity frap!
Oh.
I swear, dude,
Here
you
they
better not.
come.
Don't do it unless you got it. Don't even.
Mick, what did you think last year about MagFest? I'm kidding. What if you had a choice, what animation studio would you want to work for?
Oh, fuck. You guys first, please.
Oh, starting. God damn it.
This is streamed, by the way, Jeff. There might actually
like,
be people
your
from the
favorite-
studios watching
It
you
could-
right
If I had to
now.
work
and
for
so-
It could be
any
like
studio,
it could be your favorite. It could be any kind of animation studio. Which one would you like to work with and why? I guess.
South Park, because they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Oh man, if I had to pick a studio, I don't know, because I'm a super weeb. I'd probably say Trigger. It's a pretty good one. But realistically, I would rather not work for any studio and just work for myself.
Ooh.
So
All right.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm already working
job.
for really good studio. Studio Yada.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
She was paid off.
Shout out to Studio Yada. You guys fucking rock. Yeah, I'm already doing it.
Yeah, you are. You did it.
I did it.
What are you gonna do now that your dreams are achieved? All right. Cool.
For me, I mean, just cause of like the sheer like the masterfulness of it, and just the like feeling like a part of like such a grand studio. Like I'd love to work for Disney, but like they just their practices and stuff, and a lot of like the horror stories I've heard and stuff, like it's not really like where I'd like die to go. It's just like it's like something that would be amazing like in a lifetime kind of thing, like to feel like you're part of that studio. But I think I really like Sony feature, like, because I like feature animation a lot. I'd love to work in feature animation, and I've always really admired Sony's style, because they seem really apt to like keep the cartooniness of like 3D animation. Like they try really hard like to kind of capture 2D techniques.
Who did Hotel Transylvania?
That one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because
So,
I
like-
definitely noticed that, especially in 2. It was like a 2D cartoon in 3D.
In 3,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it
and
was
that's
really
and that's really amazing, because I was always
Yeah.
really against. Like I was one of those people who, like, when the push it started to change from like 2D animated films were starting to die out, and everything was turning 3D. I was kind of against it because all the 3D ones kind of looked the same and their style wasn't really appealing to me. But then, you know, stuff like Sony started to come out, and like a lot of them are doing it, but so I feel like Sony's like the best at it. So it'd be a cool studio. But I like to work for myself too. Like I like my own projects, and I want to start my own studio someday.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Mick?
As far as animation stuff, I mean, there's plenty of studios out there that I'd love to work on projects with. Like, I'd actually kind of, you know, in a pipe dream, I'd like to work for all of them at some point. Some kind of a project for Adult Swim, some kind of project for Nickelodeon, you know, for kids, for adults, whatever. I would say my dream project would be,
To work on JoJo?
yes, to voice for, I don't know if it's the official Crunchyroll JoJo, whoever does the official English dub of JoJo, if you're listening.
Would you want to?
JoJo gods. It would be to be a part of it, and not just one character. I'd like to be. I feel like there are so many characters and so many awesome characters that to be a part of like that family of characters would be. That's like an actual goal.
All right. But to go back a sec, what was your actual answer going to be?
What's that?
What was your actual answer going to be? Because I interrupted you.
No, that was it.
Oh, sorry.
That was actually it. You got the right. You interrupted me with what I wanted to answer. So get
Oh,
out of here.
How convenient.
Thank you so much. That was a great question. Thank you.
I love you, Agnon. Okay, here's a very sappy question. My friend is an amazing artist. She is, and the way she can pump out quality content is like a machine. She's a machine. If you see her Snapchat, it's fucking brilliant. But her thing is, she's completely afraid of art thieves and all the internet things and all that stuff. And she's working in an insurance company right now. And I'm not going to show her this, don't worry. But like, she is. Can I have some advice to just get her to do something? Because she can make money off.
So
of
you're
it.
saying that her main thing, the thing that's stopping her, she is just she is
The
a
internet.
gushing flood of talent. However, the dam is way up there, and across
It's
the
the
dam it
internet.
reads, "Don't steal my shit." Right?
It's not just
How do we
don't
break
see
that
my
down?
shit. It's the entire like fucking internet thing. She had an Instagram, but all she did was like add her friends, and she had it on
Right.
private, and it's all that stuff. And it's just like she's just fucking. She's. I know you're gonna say something like, get her on her own time or something, but like something to like help her along because she's like nervous.
I don't know. Do you have any advice for people that are afraid of posting because people are going to steal their shit?
Is she an animator?
She's an artist. Like she's somebody like Monica or
Right,
or
right.
anybody like here, but.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. This is Monica, by the way. If you don't, just kidding. All right.
I'm sorry, Monica.
Put you on the spot.
Wait, is
Yeah.
it Monica? Wait a minute, what?
No, it's not Monica. Yeah, no, totally, it's Monica. Yeah.
What's her name?
What? Oh, her name's Kim. She's fucking brilliant. She's amazing. I like her a little bit, yes, but you know. Though she's kind of gay, though, so you know.
Kinda, not
Kinda,
totally.
you know. She had a girlfriend for a while, but like, yeah.
All right. No. Let's go back to the question. So the question, the answer.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later, though.
Okay.
All right.
What if you like gave her a crash course, just like constantly sling shit at her, just be like, man, that's the worst drawing I've ever fucking seen, I hate it. And by the time she gets on the
Thanks.
internet,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
she'll be fine. No one could touch her.
Yeah.
If she doesn't want to do it, then she doesn't
Yeah.
want to do it.
I know. All right. Yeah.
Fortunately.
I have a little like because like yeah I like right now like for me when I started posting art online when I was younger, you know, I was just I really loved my characters and my work and everything, like I loved it, you know, and I just wanted to share it with everyone, and I was super like I said earlier, I was pretty new to like the internet, like pretty late in the game, and I was just like, oh my gosh, now I can share stuff, like, oh my god. You know, I didn't even think about art thieves or anything like that, but then, you know, started to gain popularity, that stuff started to happen.
Yeah. Don't worry about not being able to answer this. This is a fucking hard ass question. Like,
But,
I can't even answer
It
this. So.
sure
Yeah.
is a hard question.
I know.
God damn.
Well, she's trying. God.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, what I can say is, like, you know, like, when you're good and you're passionate and everything, like, that shows. And I mean, and if she doesn't, like Jackson said, if she doesn't want to share it, then that's one thing. But like, if she's afraid, like, if the reason stopping her is the art thieves and stuff, like, what I can say is, like, yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
But like, if that's something you want to do and you want to, you have to put it out there.
Yeah,
and like, they're gonna come. But like, if you're the one that originated something, that's always something that it shows, you know. If somebody copying it, it's always gonna look like the copy, you know.
Yeah.
And it might be annoying and it might hurt and stuff, because like, yeah, I went through my fair share of like getting annoyed by it and letting it get to me. But then I realized, like, well, what's the point? Because like, obviously people know probably by now that like this thing that looks like a ripoff of one of my characters or whatever, like, obviously they know where it came from, so there's no point in getting mad. And sometimes they're younger and they're just trying to learn, and everybody kind of develops in their own way, so you never really know who these people are and what their deal is. So
Yeah.
I would say definitely just you have to put yourself out there if if it's something you want to do, and those people are there, but they aren't really gonna stop you, you know, if you're the original voice of whatever passion and everything it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her, like, when I get back, that I will spam her shit all like to famous like fucking everybody I know. So like everybody knows that it's her. That's an idea I have in mind. But like, yeah, something.
I mean, it's the internet too. Like, it's very.
I want to
easy
get her
date
famous
things.
immediately. So that's
You can date things. You can prove things. I mean, like, and that's only if it became a court case.
Yeah,
or
didn't
something.
the troll face guy like sue people for using the troll face
Wait,
somehow?
really?
Didn't that happen?
Why do you know that?
Because I'm a freaking memologist, brah.
I can't argue with that.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, anything you put online, there's always the opportunity for that to happen. But I think if you have a community and you continue, and ultimately if you're passionate about it, that shouldn't stop you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You got it.
That's really-
Thank you.
I was gonna add to that. Hang on. Like, maybe she'd prefer you to post her art for her.
Okay.
Should talk to her.
I don't want to ruin any friendship right now.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, definitely.
That's too much.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, like, for sometimes it's like the hardest part is like dealing with some of the weird people on the internet. So like, I mean, if you can just post something, you don't have to be interactive with people. Like, so it's nice to interact with fans and everything, But like if it's something that you're really worried about and it's keeping you from posting, then you don't have to do it. Just post it and then get off and just be like, all right, I hope people liked it.
Yeah, but don't make it weird because it's like, yeah, I got a crush on this. It's like, hey, stop posting my art. It's okay,
Oh,
I have a
yeah.
crush on her. It's like, what?
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Steal her
Take that to the
first.
bank.
I wasn't saying that.
The way he described it.
Hey, okay. So I was actually curious. Has there ever been any cartoon that you were working on or you thought about, like any project that you were like, this is going to be the best thing ever. I'm so excited to do this. And the more and more you worked on it, you were like, oh, I can't post this or anything.
Every
like
one of them.
that. I knew you were going to say
stole
that.
my
I knew
answer.
you were going to
You
say
son of a
that.
bitch.
Yeah,
For
you knew
real.
I was going to say it because it's how I felt.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Exactly the same answer. Every single thing I've done.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like hearing the same joke over and over again. You know, you're staring at the same shit for like 3 months. So you
Yeah.
can't. It's like you
Yeah.
have to like take yourself outside of that because by the end
That's fair.
you're just so tired of this, and none of the punchlines land with you anymore because you've heard them 1,000 times, and I don't know. You just like lose sight of what was magic about it. But you just have to fucking put it out. You know.
I have so much stuff that I never posted
Yeah.
because I was just like, this is garbage.
And what's so funny about it is that when you start, you're like, oh my God, this is so funny. And you tell your friends and they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. You got to animate it. You're like, no, I am. I'm already doing it. It's awesome. I can't wait to see it. You show it to them. They're like, yeah. And then like time goes by and it's just like, oh man. And then you start saying things like, oh, you know what? I've sat with it for a while and I think I've kind of, it's matured a little bit since I've gotten it. And it's kind of like, no, you really just sat with it and ruined it. You should have just rolled with it. You had a good idea. You loved it. Just blazed through it, which is why I feel like sometimes the shotgun content that we do, when I say shotgun, like in a week or 2 weeks, if you're able to knock out a quick idea, I think a lot of times I'm actually okay with some of them. I still sometimes look back and go, ugh. But I do think that some of those I feel better about because I didn't invest as much time. And I think from concept to delivery, there was less decay in terms of like my personal appreciation for it. But yeah, that's just me. Yeah.
What about you, Viv? Did you answer? Or?
No.
I mean, it's this basically the same, but yeah, like I do think that like when you have that momentum, like, because for me, I'm gonna be trying to do more like pencil tests that are kind of like in the heat of the moment. I'm like, oh,
Right.
I love that, I want to do this. So forcing yourself to like kind of finish it really fast, like even if it's not your best animation, like you had that momentum going, so like it kind of I'm like a little bit happy with some of the shots that I do, like when I'm doing really fast, because like I do them when I'm like in that zone, and I'm somebody who like I'll just sit there for hours until I like rough something out or finish something or I key something. So like usually that momentum carries.
Yeah.
So I'm like I'll be happy with like maybe like one, like I think for me like every film, I hate most of the film, but then like there's always like one shot that I'm like, all right, it's not terrible.
I like the way I drew that foot. That looked pretty good. Like that.
Yeah, like there's like one movement. I'm like, all right, that kind of works.
It's almost like if you can fool yourself to just sketch it out as quickly as you can and get like a working version of it where you're like, yeah, timing's right. This is the joke. All right, yes, this is it. It's not colored, not shaded, not like lined well, but yeah, I'm loving this. All I got to do is make this full. Then it's like while you're working on it, all you got to do is tell yourself, no, this is good. I already liked it when it was in that phase. I just need to actually animate it now.
Well, at that point, once you block it out, you just turn the audio off and the scrubbing.
Yeah.
And you just like turn
on your
whatever else,
music and just
like,
fucking
you're
animate.
just like filling in the blanks at that point.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And when it comes out and you're like, I completely forgot what the fucking audio was. Great.
Yeah,
When you overthink things, it gets
Yeah.
kind of toxic and like
Yeah.
yeah.
You have to
You
like
get
fool
sick of
yourself.
it.
You have to like fool yourself and be like, "This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm doing great," and then just like leave
No.
that little.
Or
doubt, like,
that
in
you
the
were
back of your
okay
head.
with it to begin with. So
Yeah.
you obviously cared enough to invest time in it to begin with. So just keep going. Like shut your fucking head up and just keep animating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thanks.
Thanks for the question.
Oh wait, did you and Tom answer?
Oh no, yeah, I think so.
Tom?
Yeah. I can add to the point. I think it's also helpful to like put it down for a few days. You know, it's if you just like stop looking at it and do something else, work on something else, just to like re-expose yourself. But
Forget about it. Have you guys seen that show? It's like on Hulu or something.
What are you talking about?
It's called Forget About It.
What?
It's like Family Guy mixed with like.
Oh, Niall talked
I've heard
about
of that.
that.
Yeah. You're right. I shouldn't talk about
The
it.
title pretty much tells you what you should
I read
do.
that.
It's really just. I mean, if somebody's watching on stream, I feel really bad if they were part of that project. But
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
All right. Yep. Don't worry about it. Don't. I don't need to burden you with that.
Just forget about it.
Yeah. Just forget about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Jeff,
Fuck you. Not you, please. Sorry.
why are you so sexy? And how do I get to be that sexy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good
and I don't
question.
Know.
Well,
That's it.
that wasn't actually my question. I
He's
was
too
messing with you.
humble, right?
I'm like
This guy.
Is he about to get down on a
slightly
knee?
below
What's happening
average
here?
height and really skinny and otherwise kind of like doofy looking.
He's never taken a bad photo ever.
Yeah. You know what's weird? All your photos.
He can
they
try.
have several.
It's either the chiseled
I
features
don't
or
believe
something. But every photo I've seen of him, I always thought when I first met you, I was so surprised because I thought you were like 8 feet tall.
No.
You're like
dude.
2 feet tall. Yeah, he's standing on his feet right now. He's
Yeah, this is
on a
it. I'm
chair.
actually on my tiptoes. I am straining so
below
hard.
his rib cage. Is just feet.
It hurts.
I'm glad you guys all got so into that question, but that wasn't actually my question.
Ah.
So, my
Got
actual
us.
question is, what's the best way to actually connect and network with other successful artists? Because I've got like mild OCD and I hate everything that I've done so far. You know, when my computer doesn't crash and lose everything.
Yeah.
So, what's the best way to actually network with other successful people?
You got to start from the outside in. You got to find the kind of tertiary members that surround them, talk to them, get into that circle. Then you can start like transitioning to the next people until eventually everyone kind of knows your face. This isn't what we did, by the way. Not at all. Yeah, and then by the time you get to the kind of the inner bit, people are used to you, and then like yeah, they're cool with you.
Tom is
But
literally
Tom's, like,
reading
online
off of like
community,
his list,
sure.
his to-do list of like how he got to know.
Okay,
I
so
love you, Tom.
Did anybody else have anything?
How do you meet other artists? Is
No,
that-
just like how do you network with them so you can actually like pick their brain? Because I only got like 60 seconds to talk to you, and I got way
Yeah.
more questions than I can ask.
Yeah.
Twitch.
If I can say it really quickly, the first time I ever talked to Mick was on Twitter, and I was half drunk, and I just decided to tweet at him. That
Yeah,
was
but
it.
I would say that
That
the
was
reason
a
why I
pretty effective
responded, I
way
mean, I
of-
respond to everybody, but the reason why I think we continued our conversation was because then I looked into your work as well. I
Yeah.
respond a lot because I like to look into who everybody is, and I think to answer your question, at least my answer is in order to network, I would say do the best work you can all the time, and hopefully when somebody sees it, they're like, who the fuck made that?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know that person. I thought I knew everybody, but I don't know that person. And then you check it out. Or something similar. Or, wow, I really like their dialogue, or I really like their coloring, or, it doesn't have to be freaking amazing. But I think if you can see somebody putting in work and time into something, that alone is a good way to just at least bridge the gap between, oh, I'm just, there's just voices being thrown at me, or, hey, there's another artist or whatever, a colleague that is connecting, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just that kind of connection. That's all I gotta say about that.
Bad at networking.
So essentially, do the best you can, and then actually reach.
I actually say the same thing about as your resume too. I mean, I think that's for networking, that's for everything. Is you always put your best work out there. I know it's tempting to just put out whatever, some kind of racist Mario bullshit cartoons or whatever, but that kind of shit's embarrassing. That kind of stuff makes it hard for you to
120
actually take
million
somebody
views, Nick.
seriously.
Fuck
May he who is not memed throw the first stone.
I will be wearing this racist Mario t-shirt.
All right.
I will be wearing this. This was a gift from Flash Gets. Very nice. Yes. But yeah, no, when they approached me to voice for the Halo cartoon, and that was the first conversation we had on Skype, I was like, I just want you to know that before I haven't read the script yet, but if this is anything like Racist Mario, there's no way I want to work with you guys.
All right, Sonex, the Hodgehead, looking at fucking both of you.
Hey, what's
But
up?
it wasn't. It was great, and I looked at all your other stuff, and it was awesome. You guys make great work. Super talented guys, really, really funny guys, and I think, but see, had they only put out that kind of stuff, I would have never known. But they put out awesome content, almost all their content, and I think going back and seeing the breadth of work of people is easily the best way to make connections. You're like, oh, you're that guy, or you're that girl, or you're that, whatever you want to call yourself. But you know what I mean? Like there's, you know what I mean? Like it's just a way to connect with people. And then also people who want to employ you will be like, holy, that's how I actually, with Jeffers, that's how I got Jeffers on board, was because I saw one of his Game Grumps animated, the poop on the wall one. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yes.
But there was poop on the wall. And I was
my
like, this
favorite
is
one.
fucking great, dude. And I love the style of it. And I was like, I have a cartoon that I want to do really quickly. So then I was doing Sonics, which was like a Sonic parody. And at the time I was like, I would love to work with this guy. You know what I mean? And I think that is just how people generally connect. Art too. You don't have to be like a freaking amazing whatever. I think if whatever you do, whether it's voicing or art or whatever, kick out the best shit you have. Don't be afraid to share it because you think people might steal it. Obviously, that's a legitimate fear. However, how are people supposed to know about your work if you're not sharing it? You know? Yep.
Well, cool. Thanks, guys.
You got it.
All right, some mandatory gushing out of the way. I love everything you guys do. I spent over a year finishing the first episode of my own cartoon.
Nice.
And every single one of you is a reason why I still have a full head of hair that also is not gray. But my question is, before you got into whatever programs you use right now, what was the first medium or vehicle you used to make your first animation? Be it Corel Move or Post-its?
PowerPoint.
Right on.
You know what?
Yes.
That's actually,
Yeah, no,
you know
that
what? I
was me
wasn't,
too.
yeah, I didn't have an answer until you said that.
Was
yeah.
it with a mouse?
Yeah, yeah,
The
it was.
Mouse. Rock on.
PowerPoint and then Flash CS3, and then I hated that and gave up for a long time, and then Toon Boom Harmony, and that was it.
Right.
I was stuck with that since.
Immediately after PowerPoint, because it was like in a class in middle school that we were shown how to make you just make like this slide like half a second long or something so you can get shit moving. But after that, I went to a club that teacher was holding. It was like a media club, and they had Flash and stuff. So that's how I was introduced to it. But then I remember leaving, and there was this sketchy like fucking 8th grade kid that had like fortune cookie size cereal keys that he was just distributing, like a
What?
fucking,
Like a dealer?
yeah, like a dealer. And that's
What you
definitely,
buying?
definitely not how I got Flash 8 when I was in 8th grade.
Back when it was still called Leet Wares.
I don't know. Anybody else?
Your voice sounds very familiar.
Oh boy.
I think I know who you
voiced,
are.
I voiced Fox and Wolf in the cartoon I did, Fox in Space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah!
It's not my
That's
panel, I
great
didn't wanna say
stuff.
anything. Oh, D-Max says
You
hi,
just
by the
recently
way.
came out with a new episode of that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
because you got to
it
fund
took
it
me
on
like a year
Patreon
and a
or
half,
something,
and I
right?
almost pulled my hair out. But
No,
Yeah.
dude. You did great
D-Max
stuff.
says hi, by the way. He was
Awesome.
gonna-
I
he was
love
gonna make
D-Mac.
it, but
D-Mac's
he couldn't make it.
amazing.
He
Fucking
didn't
love
have
that
the
guy.
strength.
No, the strength.
Ha, ha.
Well, thanks for
But
coming
yeah.
by. No, I don't know. What do you guys? Anything
The
else?
first,
I guess for me it was actually paper.
right on.
Yeah, paper.
There's little yellow Post-it notes for me. I did little stick figure Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat
Yeah.
fatalities and sold them for lunch money in 3rd grade.
I think flip books probably. Yeah, flip books. There was I think I'm older than everyone in here, so no one is going to remember. But there was an old program on the original Mac, which was like it was almost like a PowerPoint, but it wasn't quite PowerPoint.
HyperCard Studio.
HyperCard. Yeah, it was
nice.
PowerPoint before PowerPoint. So you could do like choose your own adventures with HyperCard, where you could program like you could have a click thing for like a door or something like that or whatever, and you could die or keep going or whatever the hell. But yeah, that was essentially what I was using back in the day. It wasn't much animation so much it was like trying to do like a story, like some kind of interactive story of some kind. Yeah.
I had Corel Move. You know, Corel Draw, they made an animation program that basically just moved stuff.
Wow.
It was called Corel Move in
Nice.
1994.
My first attempt at digital animation was I drew on the paper and I used a light box, but then I took a digital, like a really crappy like early 2000s like digital camera, and I just would take it, I
Ultra
set it up and took a
640
picture
by
of every single
480
one.
HD.
Then I uploaded them, and I because obviously all the photos were in different
Yeah.
None of them were actually like straight up on the drawings, so they were all off. So I
Yeah.
went into Photoshop and like lowered the opacity and like moved them like to fit, and it
15
made this
years
really
before.
it looked terrible.
Your first
That was my
digital
first-
cartoon was a cartoon you drew on paper
and
and then took photos of
photos
and
of.
scanned them in.
Yeah. and then took it into Photoshop and like
It's
tried to
amazing.
make it work. Looked terrible, but that's how I tried to do it.
Damn, you
And
were
then-
dedicated.
I was-
Other kids were outside playing ball.
I still do things like that. Like when I went to the Good Blondes thing, like you were saying earlier, when you can't downgrade to an Intuos, so they didn't have Cintiqs there for us to use. I did like this 2-week summer program at the French school in Paris, and like what I ended up doing was I'd brought my Companion, so I drew all the keyframes in Companion, took a USB, saved them all out as PNGs like individually, took them into the computer, then used the Intuos to do in-betweening, then take them back to clean it. It was they made fun of me. The teachers
Yeah.
there.
They were all out the bar. You were sitting there with charcoal trying to like scan your freaking sketches
They
into
were-
a computer.
When they were judging my animation at the end, they were like the way you worked, like what were you doing? I was the only way I could keep the character on model. They were like, yeah, but why? Like, why were you doing that? I was just like, I couldn't use the Intuos.
You were representing America then too.
Yeah. I know.
You were-
It was such an embarrassment.
But yeah, thank you all for coming.
Thank
all
you,
are-
brother, and thank you for your work too.
Thank you, sir.
What's up, sir?
Hi, what's up? I was just wondering, like, right now you're all kind of like not in the same place, but a similar place, like working online, publishing like what you want to put out. But how do you see that progressing, 10 years, 15, 20 years? Do you want to join studios, not do that anymore, move on, just change nothing until it all stops?
I mean, ideally,
Life's
I want
perfect.
to just continue my own independent work and just be able to sustain myself on that. Ideally, that's probably not going to happen. So, realistically, I'd probably like to join a studio of some kind.
Is that like your backup?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. That's yeah. What I would like to do is just be able to produce my own stories and videos and sustain myself on that, like my own work and things. So, yeah. If I keep at it, hopefully that'll happen.
Yeah.
You know what? You're sass, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Your sass.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yeah.
Question?
Do you want to work in a studio? Like,
I was kind of
you-
starstruck.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Where do you see your animation going? Like, how do you
Oh,
want to progress your career?
I'm really happy working for Studio Yada right now. I love the work I'm doing for them, and kind of sad that none of it was on the demo or what do you call that.
I wasn't sure which parts of it I could put up. I mean, I know you're overseeing a lot of it too.
There's just a lot of old stuff, but yeah, I mean, I'm already working for the studio.
Studio like. So that's good.
Love Studio Yada, yeah.
I think Tom would agree with me that the end goal for Flash Kids has always been to get a show, like eventually. And YouTube was always just sort of the step in between, like a stepping stone. That's kind of what we're going to be working on now, because YouTube is not what it was, like, as everyone else up here will know.
Yeah, fuck
like,
YouTube.
2 years ago, yeah.
YouTube fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely like where we want to arrive, and that's what everything has been leading up to. Hopefully, we'll see.
For me, like I really want to continue making original content. Like right now, I'm developing so much, like pilots and short films and stuff. Like that, I'd like to at least get one like original project, because from right now, a lot of the work that I have out is kind of stuff that isn't. It's original in like the characters and the animation and everything, but like I'll use music or something kind of that isn't really I didn't originate that. It's not voice actors and stuff that I hired to do the specific lines or do you do this like original songs. So my goal is in that time frame, the next 10 years, definitely have a full like short original film with like, you know, as high quality as I can make it, and then like maybe try to join a studio for a little bit to get that experience. Because the nice thing of a studio is like you learn, like you're around so much talent that you learn so much.
Yeah.
And like that's something that I really I want to learn from other people. I want to get better because there's so many more like so much people I feel are more talented than me that I could learn from. So I just want to, you know, get that experience and also learn how a studio operates, you know, what kind of work goes into like the bigger stuff, like whether it be TV or feature, and then take that back and then try and keep doing original stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of a hybrid. Like, I've always been a little concerned about studios. I feel like in the news, you were always hearing about studios just crashing and burning. Like, they were just firing everybody and throwing them into mass graves and stuff. And I do think that there's a ton to learn. And I think, you know, unlike Studio Yada, which is apparently just rocking, kicking ass and full of talented people, there are a number of studios that you do hear where their fate is not so great. So having the idea of like, yes, I want to work for Pixar. You know, there were people I'm sure that really wanted to work for a certain studio, and it was their dream job. And then like a year later after the project, they got freaking fired. You know what I mean? And everybody got fired. All their friends got fired. What's that?
DreamWorks laid off like 500 people in one night.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, as far as like where I'd like to see the projects I'm working on, I'd love to see a children's show. And when I say children's, I mean, you know, whatever, for Nickelodeon, you know, up to like 13, 15, 16, whatever. And then also an adult show. I'd love to do a feature at some point. I'd love to voice for JoJo. I kind of like, when people ask me what I want to do when I grow up, or like, what's the real job? What's the goal? What are you really doing all this for? I feel like giving a singular answer is fucking stupid. Like, I am not the culmination of one job title, you know? And what I want to do with my life isn't one job title. I'm more of a combination of things that I want to do, right? A list of things that I would like to be a part of, including, you know, wingsuit jumping at some point, you know, maybe at the very end, you know, when I'm really, really old, just right into the freaking concrete of, you know, Times Square. I don't fucking know.
That's not the kind of thing you do when you're
But I wouldn't want to hit anybody. But you know what I mean? So I feel like in that regard, a little bit of everything, essentially. But are you okay?
Yep, no, I'm good. Don't worry. Just move my elbow a little bit on the table. It's good.
If that answered it at all.
All right, yeah. And just one last thing. Last year at the animation panel, you were here, and like by this time in the panel, you were like a bit fucked up.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I think actually,
Well, no,
you
no,
notice there's a lot of empty
Okay.
seats. I think a lot of these people were expecting that to happen again, and they were kind of disappointed that, yeah, what's up?
Everyone's
Well,
disappointed, Mick. What did you
I
do?
was right there,
Shut
and
up.
some 16-year-old kid came up and asked you some question.
Yeah.
Like he didn't ask the group, he asked you.
Yep.
And then you like kind of answered it, but then
Yep.
screamed and like didn't.
What did
and
I
then-
scream?
What?
What did I scream?
No, he walked away and you started screaming he had a cute butt.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. You
Oh, was that you? That was me. Oh, that was you! Well, let's take a look.
Wait,
It's been a year. A lot happens in a year.
did you say, was it you who said that I had a cute butt?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember probably the last half of that panel.
I thought it was Chris, and I've been harassing Chris ever since that happened.
It might have been Chris. He does that too. We all know that, right? That's a known fact. Chris looks at little boy butts.
no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with that.
I didn't say that. There's no proof. Shit. This is streaming, isn't it? Fuck. Never mind.
Do you even remember what?
All right, thanks so much.
No. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Okay, my question's a little less serious, and I was just wondering what kind of music you guys are into.
Music.
Oh my God, a whole lot. Aside from like shitty fucking country music that I listen to a lot of shit, a lot.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say besides country music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shitty fucking
Yeah,
country
fucking
music.
Besides
Shitty
Insulting my
fucking country music.
Name one country song that doesn't sound like every other country song.
Listen
Go.
to Casey Musgraves. Listen to her. Phenomenal.
All right, you win this round, Vivzy.
Yeah.
Son of a
Sounds
bitch.
very different.
I really love Savant and Caravan Palace, kind of like jazzy swing stuff.
Yeah.
Like old school, but like kind of
Good
new.
New and
sounding, yeah.
old.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that stuff.
Down, Pantera, Megadave, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
The big four, like old school metal and stuff. Recently, I've been really into electro swing.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fucking great shit, dude. Yeah.
What's-
Do you know Proto? What's his name? Proto-Raptor or something? Or shit, what's his
No,
name? He does a lot of electro swing.
I
stuff.
think you
I'm trying to
introduced
think.
me to Smokey Joe.
Yeah, Smokey Joe.
Smokey Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the kid.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you always forget the kid.
For me, like, I listen to a lot of stuff. Like, I don't think there's any genre that I like really like, cause I like at least one song from every single genre. Like, you can find the most obscure genre. I'm sure there's something in it that I could like. And for me, it's because I kind of associate it with, like, I come up with a lot of characters and stories. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe this will fit this character because it's completely out of my. This isn't something I'd listen to normally, but it's like, all right, if it fits that character, so I kind of get in that mood. But my favorite genres are definitely, like, I like country. I feel bad.
Shitty
That's
fucking
what-
country?
I like
Wait, shitty fucking country or just
Shitty
country?
country.
I wasn't sure there was a difference
Both of
in
them.
Canada
Any.
I will fight you.
I will fight
on a
you
moose.
too. I'll fight you
I
too.
will throw you off the stage.
He will throw bottles of maple
I will
syrup
defend,
at you.
I will be the resident country defender. But no, I also like I'm a huge musical
Yeah.
theater like connoisseur. Anything musical theater. Just any. I'm a really big lyrics person. I like. I like anything with like really creative lyrics and creative melodies that aren't really like super repetitive. Because like, you know, pop and everything, it's fun to like you kind of just have on, but like, and sometimes it can be hype, but like there's something about like musicals that like for me, and that's why a lot of the animations I do are like music centric, because like it's my favorite. I think that's probably my favorite genre. And then I like random other kinds, I like specific artists like a lot, and I'm just like I love that artist, and then everything else is kind of just filler until I find another artist I really like.
Yeah. I'm in the opposite. I like everything that doesn't have lyrics. Mostly because, I mean, I do love lots. Like, I like Van Halen, and yes, I have my Pantera and all that shit. And I love musicals. I was in a lot of musicals myself back in the day. But I would say that when I'm working, mostly I listen to stuff that is somewhat repetitive and has no lyrics because I find it more kind of hypnotic.
Yeah.
Like it's more droning sometimes. And other people hear it, and they're like, what the shit is this noise? But for me, I'm like, wait, what? I'm not fucking, you know what I mean? I'm like in the zone at the time. So yeah, for me, I mean, it might as well just be somebody like tapping their finger.
Yeah.
I could listen to that for like 2 hours, you know? And I'd just be like,
Yeah, it's good work, good work music.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it, bud. Nice bud. That was from Chris, by the way. Not from me. Hello, sir.
So this will start based off of Flash Gets early 40K animations.
Oh,
and
no.
But I'll round it about to all of you. Is there any subject that you covered in the past that you'd like to go back to, but you have reservations about going back to its relevancy now, or something you maybe haven't covered yet, but also have the same reservations?
Racist Mario 2.
Were you planning that?
No. He asked the question.
Because Shad and I were joking. We were going to do Racist Mario Run. Remember that? You could have like Racist Mario.
He sent me the picture. It was great.
Yeah. I saw that.
Racist
Yeah.
Mario Bros.
Give me a whack.
Yeah.
Super racist Mario Bros.
Super racist Mario.
Racist Luigi. How about that?
Racist Luigi U. There you go.
Racist Luigi switch, dude.
Oh God! Hey, I'm out too.
I've already been to my second meeting, guys. Clearly it didn't work. But I'm better.
All right.
All right.
So anything actually serious, or?
Uh,
I don't know. Had reserve.
any subject that I wish I could go back to and do again?
Or you haven't covered, but you have reservations about it, like you don't know how well it'll work out now?
I mean, kind of both of those categories. I did a Wind Waker cartoon forever ago that nobody knows about, and I started doing this video series where I just fucking rant about nonsense, and I kind of want to do one about Wind Waker again. So, but I'm apprehensive because if I do, everyone will get really mad at me because they fucking love Wind Waker, and I'm like, there's a million plot holes in that game. So, That's kind of where I'm caught up. I'm like, I want to point those out, but if I do, I'll lose 100% of my subscribers, and everyone will hate me.
Yeah, the views. Do it for the views.
The views will happen, but if I upload anything after that, I'll get 0.
Would you be true to yourself? If you made that video, would that be true to what you believe?
I guess.
Then fuck them.
I don't even know what I am anymore. I'm a monster.
Let me have a sip of this cocktail here. I'll be fine.
Oh my god, this cocktail of all whiskey.
Yeah.
Best kind. Moving on.
Like,
Sorry.
anything I doubted myself seriously on, I never put out, and there's 100 things I just made and never put out.
The thing about making cartoons, especially if your livelihood is YouTube, is to make a cartoon that's like a 3-month investment that you have to see pay off in some way, you know? So if you, to an extent, there's just some stuff, like some stories, if that's your livelihood, you feel like you can't tell because you're not going to see the investment back.
Yeah, fuck that, man. I mean, yes, it's true, but fuck that.
I mean, I don't like it, you know, but the way we've approached that is there are popular culture stuff that we do really like, and we can use that stuff that is like a little meme-y, excluding Racist Mario for, you know.
Yeah, that's eternal.
It's going to happen. Where you can take the story you want to tell and lay it over that content that everyone knows.
What a shill.
I want to see you put it on. I want to see you put it on.
Put it
That's what I
on.
brought it for.
I'm going to put it on.
You want to keep talking about it, but you're not going to put it on.
All right, keep talking.
All right.
But is there
No
something
disguise.
you would like to do, but you know it would affect your livelihood, but you just kind of put on the back burner?
We Tom can talk about this. He hasn't talked in a while, but we had a cartoon planned a long time ago that was like about like the metalhead type people, you know, like the main singers of like the big four, like Dave Mustaine and stuff like that. But I don't know, like if you have to eat based on what you get from YouTube, you can't make a cartoon that no one's gonna watch or understand, you know. Are you still there, Tom? Before I dig myself in a deeper hole.
I think to your point about because I'm getting a sense you want to hear about the Warhammer stuff.
Well,
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you guys because Warhammer was a lot bigger when you guys originally made it, so
right.
And it's kind of
Yeah,
waning
it's
in
true.
relevance
But
now.
one thing is, I would enjoy going back and maybe doing something in Warhammer. But obviously, the first thing is Don said, you know, you got to make sure your investment comes back, even if Mick is going to be a big bully about it. But,
You know what? You know what's funny? You limey baby wimpy boy who can't do shit because I'm here and you're over in La La Land. Listen, when I saw the Warhammer stuff, that was actually legitimately what I saw of your first cartoons, and I was like, holy crap, they aren't just racist Mario, guys. Like,
Dude,
they
you're
were-
wearing off.
No, I'm not kidding right now.
You can't say anything.
It was, I saw that you guys had invested, like, those were long cartoons. Those were like 10, 15 minutes or something. Like, you guys had these long ass, and there wasn't just one of them. Like, you guys went, made a bunch of these, and I was like, these guys legitimately care and legitimately care about, games and making cartoons about games. And that immediately was a huge turn on. I had a raging hard boner for you, Tom, as soon as I saw that. And yeah, so I would just say that, yes, while today it's like, oh, I got to pay my bills, so I got to do the blah, blah, blah. I do think the passion projects, so the ones that you care about, these topics and stuff, I think that is critical to defining who you are as an artist. Otherwise, you are defined by the latest trends. You're defined by the coolest parodies or the most relevant videos. And that, I don't think, is a defining quality at all. I think that's the opposite.
I think
it's better to be defined by over 1 million subs than 10,000 subs, which is what we had. I'd rather be defined over that.
By your subs?
Oh, shit, silence. I'm sorry, guys. Carry on.
Well, I don't know.
That was supposed to be a sick burn.
Oh, I see. You were doing a sub count. Yeah, but I would say that the thing is that your Twitch, you guys have over 1 million. How many subs do you have?
Can we?
And yet you guys have you guys have 5,000 Twitter followers.
The cutout should not be allowed to make this into a fucking shit match, shit throwing match.
How many retweets did you get this week?
No,
Tom?
listen. I think we're on equal ground. You said racist Mario. I said Sonex. You know.
Yes,
This is we're good.
I
We're
agree.
wearing the T-shirt.
I love you guys.
I would argue that while I said what I said, the paradigm is shifting.
Yes.
Because YouTube is not what it used to be. And even if you're making the meme shit that gets shares, you're not going to be able to live off of it. So I think the biggest way to sustain yourself today, and that is what we're trying to transition into with like Twitch and stuff, is just the fans and the people that love you for your voice.
It is
you
the
know?
fans. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
And at that point, you can just be making stuff that you want to make because it is just your voice and your jokes. You're no longer trying to reach other people because you already, you're fortunate enough to have the people that are rabid about the jokes that you're already telling, and then that's what you're relying on.
Yeah.
So you are going to see less and less meme-y stuff from all the
I think so.
animators.
I think so. And I think you've already seen a little bit less. There are people trying to get into the game that are definitely trying to ride like whatever hot memes are danking out of the dank cave. But I think that in terms of danking out of the dank cave, come on, you never heard that? That's the old Chinese famous philosophy thing. No, I'm just saying that I do think that Patreon, like Jaxie said, as well as like Twitch, like Don said, and other means that are more like engaging with your audience, I really do think that audiences are going to decide the type of content that come out. And yeah, YouTube is a great platform. It's a great place to upload and dump your content, sure. It's easy to embed and all that kind of stuff. But the power behind it, the reason behind it, and the actual fuel, the fire, the heart behind it is not in YouTube, in my opinion. No diss on that, but I'm just saying that it didn't take long to figure out. I mean, now other content creators are starting to feel that burn that YouTube is putting under people. Like, yep, they did. They always fucking change it. But you know what doesn't change is it does change your passion for your audience, but the algorithm doesn't change. The algorithm of you connecting with people is the same. You be as nice as you can, or as cool as you can, or as honest with with your audience as possible. You kick out the best work you can for them. You work as hard as you can. You be as passionate as you can. You be as consistent as you can. All of these things, and hopefully something comes of it. There's no guarantees or promises, but I think that algorithm has been a set. You know what I mean? Like that's always been the case, and things like Patreon and Twitch have allowed that connection to be clearer. Before it was all numbers. You were just looking at view counts. But you didn't know who really those people were. Now you get to talk to them, play games with them, chat with them, all that kind of stuff. And I think that makes a huge difference in the type of content you feel confident making, because you're not afraid of whether or not you're going to get 1 billion views. All you care about is making sure that you and the people that care about your work are getting, their due.
Right.
Due. Sorry.
Good.
Dude. Yeah. So thanks. I hope, because I'm subscribed to you on Twitch, hopefully you guys start getting the views that are I keep paying attention to all of y'all. Just make sure you pass that threshold that Twitch finds you worthy enough.
Yes.
To, start getting money from them.
Thanks, man. What's your handle? Well, you you don't have to tell everybody.
The Divine
It's all right.
Intervention.
The Dividing.
Yes, the divine. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Nice hair. No, it's nice. I don't have any hair. I have nothing to complain about.
So you're hanging out in MagFest, and someone sees that shirt, and they walk up to you and like, "Hey, you're Flash Gits, right?"
Yeah.
So, how do you react when someone misidentifies you and thinks you're another animator?
Oh man.
Ever.
Yeah, got to run with it. That's like a get out of jail free card. That's like a oh yeah, that's me, and then just do whatever you want around him.
And then be a complete asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best case scenario, honestly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Get away with anything.
Anything.
Really get recognized as it is, but
No, I don't get recognized.
if someone misidentified me, I'll be like, yeah, that's me.
You got to play it though. You got to play it a little bit. You
I
got
hate my
to.
name.
How did you know? Like, oh wow, shit. How'd you know it was me? Yeah.
Yeah, hey, it's me, Ego Raptor. Maybe you know me. Yeah, I did things like Metal Gear Awesome and Game Grumps or whatever. It's not really a big deal.
Wait, you're the creator of Flash animation, you ass. Come on, man.
I invented Flash.
Yes, there you
I
go.
actually invented the internet.
You are Adobe.
I founded YouTube. Wow. I also created
Your
Nintendo.
dad is Mr.
Whatever.
YouTube?
It's not really a big deal.
Holy shit.
I mean, whatever.
I don't know. Have you ever been like mislabeled, or have you ever been someone thought you were somebody else?
Me, no.
I feel like if I have, like, I just let it roll. I don't know. I don't get, like, offended or anything. It's just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think our problem is our voice actor gets recognized because he has like a Vine presence and stuff. So they're like, "Oh, you're that guy that was in that thing," you know. And then he just gets to like walk. He gets to do it. He gets to pull the mic, you know. It doesn't happen to us because we don't have our faces out there. So I don't know.
Pull a mic.
Pull the mic. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That sounds like a date rape thing.
I don't like that. I don't like that. That's not good. That's not a
I'm
good
just
sound.
saying. That's what it. Because of Mickey's, right? That's where that came from, right? Isn't it like an Irish phrase? Isn't that a phrase? Yeah, we got people in the audience nodding their head. Yes, that is the phrase I use when I date rape somebody. That's exactly what he's saying.
Oh God.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Hey?
Tom.
Oh, I never get. I have never. I think I've gotten recognized a few times just because like I'll post pictures every so often. But I don't.
Yeah. I've been called. People have thought I was Stamper sometimes, or Fat Stamper, Fat Asian Stamper. Yeah, because of that. And they're like, "Wait, which one's Stamper?" I think it's pretty clear. He looks like the fucking handsome skeleton, and I'm the big round-faced Asian man. But I would say actually the the biggest issue I've had is with ... which a lot of people think I voiced, which I didn't voice. It was DMAC. DMAC voiced that. But I think a lot of people know that I'm a voice actor, and I animated it, so they think that I was the voice. I actually got voice acting gigs from ... At which point I had to clarify, and I have the emails, DMAC, where I was like, dude, that wasn't me. In fact, this is the guy who did it. And they're like, but aren't you a voice actor? I'm like, yes. And they're like, oh, well, will you audition? You know, stuff like that. So it was great. It was a great gig, but that was probably the most misrepresentation that I've had in terms of me. Yeah, that I can think of.
I thought that was you too.
Did you really? Yeah.
At first, I did.
Did you? Yeah, that happened. Sorry, DMAC.
DMAC's amazing.
DMAC's amazing. DMAC, if you're watching. Anyways, yeah, that was my answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So hey, what's up, guys? How you
What's up?
Hey, how's everything going? So my name is Chris Baldwin. I'm a game developer. And before I move on to my question, just to touch back on what you guys were talking about a minute ago. So I actually developed games for Disney for a year while the layoffs were going on. So it is totally true.
Yeah.
Everything about it. So I didn't personally get laid off, but I did quit.
Oh, okay.
So all that stuff, it's like.
Was it really you quit, or was it like you're fired? You're like, nah, I quit.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it
like,
was-
because like I have like a few friends who like work at feature and TV studios, and like it just, I mean, like it's, and I've visited a few times, and like it's amazing environment.
It
like
is.
that, like that's what I want to go.
Right. Yeah. and-
Because like the actual practice, I mean, like especially with Disney, like the main thing with Disney is like you see the amazing, like they hire the best animators
Yep.
ever, like and the best like artists, and then you look at like the concept art for a film and stuff, and then you see the final project, and you're like, where did all that go? Like
Yeah,
where
what
did all this
happened?
creative stuff go? And I've heard just the horror stories of like stories getting killed and artists getting laid off, and it's
Yeah, and I mean.
that's what's scary.
Yeah, all their facilities are beautiful, and there are a lot of great people there. I think a lot of upper management, honestly, they don't really connect with the audiences that they're trying
Yeah.
to reach. So it's really difficult to get in there on the ground floor and actually have like an impact
Yeah.
upwards, because like I was a writer for 50 years, and like
Yeah.
you know, you can't really argue with that. But yeah, it was cool, and it's important to like, I guess, distinguish that there are like lots of different segments, right? So there's like animation and ABC, and I won't say where I worked, but
Sure.
Yeah.
you know. So that was all a big mess. But basically, so I'm a programmer, so that's what I do day to day. But I also have like a really solid foundation in just like traditional like drawing and painting. And like I said, I do games. So like ever since I left, I've been kind of working on my own projects.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, obviously like I'm trying to balance all these different skills, so I don't have like a heck of a lot of time to like work on stuff, because obviously there aren't any shortcuts. But what I wanted to ask you guys is, do you have any like tips or like good resources that would be useful to sort of like make the jump from like traditional like 2D artwork up to something that's sort of like more like in the round, like being able to sort of like, you know, understand motion as like a function of frame rate, like that sort of stuff. Like if you have any like, I don't know, like courses or cool books that would be like useful to somebody who's trying to like move up from one media to another, I guess.
I would imagine that everybody up here has the Animator Survival Kit, which is like it's like a 10-pound fucking massive book that everyone
Animation
owns.
Bible.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that came to mind.
It's a good like, I mean, because it has like the foundation for like everything.
Right.
But like, I mean, for me, like I never really used it. Like,
Yeah.
and there's some people like who just treat it like it's law.
Right.
And like Richard Williams is crazy. Like, I mean, he's amazing and talented as heck, but like he's insane. Like he animates like entirely on one.
Yeah.
And he's just like he's something else. So like following that book to a T, like it's really hard to do.
What are you really asking, though? I'm really I'm a little bit confused because it sounds like you've worked in the industry. In fact, in some ways, you sound like you're more experienced than freaking me.
I
You
mean,
know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know,
Like, I'm curious, like, in terms of like a transition between.
So a transition from, I guess,
From like stationary 2D
yeah, just
art
like stationary 2D art
animation.
up to like figuring out how like things move through space. You know, that's like a sort of a jump, I think, for me, because I'm trying to balance so many
Well,
different things already.
for the 2D work that you do, is it like illustration kind of stuff?
Yeah, like
because
just illustration, concept art, and things like that. But I've done like a lot of cell shaded work and a lot of more traditional like portraiture. Just like I'm terrible because I'm like totally the jack of all trades. Type
Yeah,
of
no,
person,
I
so-
understand. Yeah, a lot of us are. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just I guess like general advice on how to think about animation and how that differs from just traditional like 2D drawing and doodling, I guess.
I think we have a nice blend of animators up here, and that everyone here probably has experience with tweens. Me and Tom are maybe the only people that still do tweens.
I
but,
do. I would do tweens.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah.
All right. I think the big difference between tween animation and FBF, just for everyone else in the room, FBF is kind of like where you keep redrawing that entire character or parts of them so that you
Yeah.
have like really fluid, like traditional looking animation.
Right.
And then puppet animation with tweens is where it's like the same body parts, you know what I mean? And then you kind of plot like the position of this arm down
Over
here.
time, like,
yeah, and
yeah.
then the computer like interpolates and makes all the parts move. And there's advantages of both. They're both like a very specific aesthetic, and I would think that just depending on like what you like to draw and the types of art you like to make, you should pick like which direction you want to go to exploit like the aspects of that. So with puppet animation, which is what we mostly do, you can have like a much more detailed, like finely rendered character because you don't have to draw it like 1,000 times.
Right.
But I mean, on the opposite side of the coin, it's gonna look like puppet animation.
Right.
And there's tricks to like make that look a little less, like puppet animation. But there's you just kind of pick like based on what you like to draw and what you want it to look like, and it's two very.
It's tough to make that call too, because things like Family Guy, you wouldn't necessarily call tweens in puppet animation, but the truth is, it kind of is. I mean, it's it's like the same freaking poses, and they have like and yet that's considered frame by frame. I think a lot of people would. I think people would consider that frame by frame.
I think it's somewhere in between, which is a nice. That's also a nice place to be. Like if you have mostly a puppet and you have like the 3/4, like two guys talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But you can still make the movements look nice if you're willing to redraw those like.
And then reuse those.
Enough. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gives it a little bit more life.
A little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Though I noticed with shows like C-Lab and stuff like that, it's almost the static nature of it that makes it funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if he punches somebody, like his whole entire arm just comes up from like a thing or something, or like when they walk into frame or when they walk out of frame, it's the same freaking angle. Like they
Aqua
came in
Teen
this
or
way and they come out. You know what I mean?
Sometimes the art style adds to the humor, because
Absolutely.
there's some types of humor. Like I was actually having this conversation earlier today. There's some types of animation that like. Or comedy that like if it was animated gorgeously,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be funny.
Absolutely.
But it's because it's animated like kind of in a weird style or a limited style that
Yeah.
like that's
Like,
where the comedy comes
If you imagine
from.
like a death scene of like a character, you could either show like this gory, very realistic death, or literally they get shot and they just go, and then like you just like pop, they're gone. Like they just disappear off the screen. You know what I mean? It's like it depends on the project that you're doing, like what the context of it. And I think that goes also for the game, like the style of it or whatever transition you think you have to make. I think it depends on what kind of, what is the audience of the project? What's the general like style, like humor and all that kind of stuff? Because if it is more serious, but even with serious stuff or more like whatever, you can still find like tweened ways of doing that. There was that war game that came out. I don't know if you remember it. It was about the retelling of one of the wars. And
Vagrant Heart?
Was that
Valiant Hearts?
Yeah, Valiant Hearts on the
that's
beach, right? Or they did the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
And it was
for
like
World
it
War
was tweened. That was a tweened animation thing as well.
Yeah,
but it's like, so I mean, you can't just say like, oh, a certain genre or style they go together. It's how do you blend those things together? Even that one game, Darkest Dungeon or something, like that's very tweeny, like in terms of like the puppet characters, and they don't have a ton of like assets for each character. However, that style they made work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Though a gory style would have been possibly cool too.
Very cool. Yeah, I think honestly, I think like games are a little bit different than what you guys do because it's very like linear format versus sort of like a dynamic, I guess you could say, where they could stop or they could do whatever they want to do.
Sure.
So I think I'm probably leaning toward frame by frame, but it's great to hear both of like all those perspectives.
A mix doesn't hurt.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even consider.
What I would say, like for especially like because if you're going from like stationary art, like I don't want to like be a second voice, but like what one of my instructors at SVA used to say was like, because he was an illustrator, he wasn't an animator ever, and he ended up working for Disney, and the reason they wanted him was because he had fundamental illustrative qualities, because in illustration you have to kind of tell a story in one drawing,
right?
So you already have that motion in there, so really just like think of it in like a series of illustrations, because that's your keyframes right there, and then just use that, because like when you have those fundamentals of two, like if you can tell a story in one drawing, then you can animate, like because you can't do, but if you have those skills to like do that, you have keyframe skills, and then like if you are a good draftsman, then you know how to draw that character doing that pose at other angles, and it's really just all that, and that's how you do.
Yeah, there's a guy, Joe Bows. He worked at DreamWorks. Is that DreamWorks? Does he still work there now? At Disney. Disney. Right, okay, yeah. Anyways, he did a bunch of cartoons. He did some called Dova Bear. Have you ever heard a game called Skyrim? It was a popular video game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And there was a bunch of cartoons that people made about this Skyrim game. And one was about a lolly Mimi bear that apparently could go around and blast people and drink alcohol. Anyways, what I loved about his cartoons, though, is that he did it like on the 20s or on the 40s. Like there were very few frames, but they were all the right frames. I tend to call it the right frames. I know that's not right, but what I mean by that is you didn't need a whole lot of. It would almost be like blinking your eyes like a strobe light, and you're seeing a scene. But it still makes perfect sense. Like it's not fluid at all, but the motions that you see, the still frames that you see that create that one singular picture or that motion actually makes sense. Your brain fills it all in because they are so expressive.
Right.
All those movements. So,
have you guys seen Tales of Aetherion?
What?
It was on Newgrounds. It was called like The Reward.
Oh yeah. Then they did didn't they do an Indiegogo or something?
But that's one of my favorite cartoons like ever. But so much of it is on the tubes.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
It just works.
It's really choppy.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. That's just a stylistic thing, and also it helps with economic frame drawing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's actually really.
I would say, if you feel like you want to go towards FBF, your next step is Twitch. Like I wish there was a Twitch when I was learning this stuff. You know, you can find an artist that does that type of thing and just watch them actually apply this stuff in like a non-abstract sense. Like tutorials are good, but like they're sort of removed from like a practical application, you know, like this is how you make a triangle, go over here, you know, like.
Or the opposite. The tutorial's like, this is it's just like they're doing all this shit. I'm like, wait, go back. Wait, what are you doing?
Explain this to me.
Yeah, they're going so fast and doing all these things, like the principles behind it aren't being explained. They're just like a speed paint. Like, how can I watch it? Like, I get it. You can kind of get some ideas from a speed paint, but you're they're not like, I don't get it. There's just too much going on too fast.
So with a good stream, if you can talk to the dude that's streaming, it's kind of like a really good tutorial in real time because you can ask, like, all right, why did you do that? And if they're actually being engaging with the person, I think that's just the best way to do it.
That's good advice.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
No.
Apologies if my question wasn't clear at first, but everything you guys told me is exactly what I
No.
was looking
Thank
for.
you. Thank you
So,
for that.
Thanks,
yeah, I
man.
appreciate it. Enjoy your MagFest.
Thanks for
Thanks,
coming.
bro. You too.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry. How many of you have heard of SleepyCast?
Yeah.
This one's mostly for Mick.
I'll keep it quick then.
I just wanted to. My first part is just kind of a personal thank you to all you and the fucking idiots at SleepyCast.
I will spread it. I will spread the word to the guys.
Every day, if not every day, every couple of days, I go back and listen to the SleepyCast. It's just one of the best podcasts I've ever listened to.
I should have hired you as an editor.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be one of those idiots who's like, "Oh, SleepyCast saved my life," but it got me through a pretty hard place in my life, and I want to thank you guys personally. And you inspired me to pursue a career in art, and now
cool.
I'm going to college to be a storyboard editor.
Awesome.
And
yeah, that's the place. That's it.
awesome.
Do that. Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask you a quick question. What was do you have any behind the scenes SleepyCast? What's the most interesting thing that happened behind the scenes?
I'll tell you this. You're going to catch me after this panel, and we will talk, and I will talk to you about it. But this isn't the time for me to talk about it. But I will. No. Catch me after the panel. I will absolutely. I'd love to talk to you about it.
Mick
Yes.
loves
I will say that.
stirring up shit.
No. Fuck you, dude. No. The number one thing I will say is that it was awesome and it was amazing. It was a great experience, and I'm glad we could rope a ton of these guys into it. I wish we could have gotten more of our friends in it. Like we had Jaxie on the stream as well. And it was a great way to kind of work and play at the same time.
We never got the email.
Yeah,
you
guys were blacklisted. You and Tom were both. I'm kidding. I think we wanted all you guys, but
I was excited. I was almost.
yeah, you were almost on it. Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Then we met you. Anyways, not fucking kidding. I love you. Shut up.
Fuck, dude, that was
Shut, guys. Come on.
Now, Mick.
No,
You're fucked.
no.
You're
It was awesome. It was great, and we still have 5 episodes left. But I'm always happy to talk about Sleepy Cabin. It's near and dear to my heart. But I don't. We only got 10, 15 minutes left. So I will talk to you later. Find me. All right, brother. Thank you for that.
Tall. I know you guys touched on this a few questions ago, but my spouse and I, we run an animation channel. It took 3 years to build up our fan base, but we were idiots and we pandered to a fandom. And now we're stuck making shitty My Little Pony animations. I mean, they get views.
Are they shitty?
Yeah, not really.
I don't know. Maybe they're good.
One of them has 5 million views now.
I don't care about your
care.
views. Your views don't matter.
Good job.
We just,
That is
they pay
not a
the
small
bills, but we
number.
don't want to do them anymore.
Then
we all
don't
have-
Sorry.
Just don't fucking do them.
I'll let you guys know.
Take the drink away.
You could taper off. We used to have a kind of, as we were talking about before, a big Warhammer fan base, and we couldn't do Warhammer anymore because we kind of stopped playing it. But instead of just stopping flat, we kind of tapered off. So just do less and add more different cartoons into your mix, and that way your fans become acclimatized to seeing something different from you, while still kind of slowly getting drip fed the content they came for. And I think if you provide good content, it doesn't matter if it's My Little Pony or not. They'll like it, and if they don't, then they were kind of fair weather fans anyway, and probably weren't worth sticking around for.
That's kind of
Very good answer.
It's back to what we were talking about before too. It's the fans that matter most, because the numbers on YouTube no longer really matter, and they're there for your voice. So, in theory, you ought to be able to make cartoons about whatever you want. If it's the same voice, if it's the same jokes, and you can see the through line from the My Little Pony stuff to what you're doing now, then the people you need there are gonna stay.
Absolutely. Otherwise, because the alternative is what? If your fear is that you're going to lose the fans of that particular topic or genre or popular trend or whatever, then you're stuck. Yeah. You're always going to fear that. So I think the opposite is that you hope that the fans that you gathered respect the work that went behind it, like these guys said, and that you know what? If you did make your bed very intentionally and you're laying in it, well, that's what happens. So then perhaps it is a matter of weaning them off of that and figuring out who really is a fan. And that's the price you paid for the quick acceleration that you got, but hey, you have an audience. Now it's just a matter of like, what audience do you keep when you move on to do what you want to do, which I think is a good problem to have.
And like you said, the YouTube views don't matter as much anymore, so it's mostly just the content. And if you're not passionate for the fandom anymore, then you might as well be using your energy for something that could potentially grow into something bigger that's original, that wouldn't rely on a pre-established fan. Because the other thing with My Little Pony is like that's gonna end, and like I don't know if the fandom will still have the momentum once it does. So.
And even if that doesn't end, your passion for it may end.
It ended 2 years
there
ago.
you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it may be detrimental to you to continue doing it if you don't care about it.
Exactly.
Anymore, 'cause people will eventually, if they don't already, see that you don't care about doing it, then that'll start dropping off and hurt you in the end. So you may as well do something you care about and that you actually like doing, because that'll benefit you more
Exactly.
in the long run than doing something that
Because as much shit as someone may get for doing My Little Pony cartoons, no, and some people did get a lot of shit. I'm sure they did, and whatever, fine. But at the end of the day, if you were passionate about it, you'd be like, you know what? Fuck you. I love to make these cartoons, and I don't give a fuck what you think. But if you are even, if there's crack in your armor there, now it's like you don't love doing it. They're pointing it out. Now it's just like, ugh, I'm doing it because I'm getting views. It's like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck that.
it just kind of becomes toxic, and you start to resent it then. And then that'll show. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, good luck.
Good luck.
Hello. My question is there any forms of, other forms of animation that you wish you could figure out how to do, but you just can't, figure out, how?
3D. 3D.
I want to animate 3D. I'm just too much of a fucking idiot to do it.
Fucking 3D.
I need like a teacher or something, because I'm one of those people, like I can't learn through a tutorial or even like an online course. And there's a lot of online courses for learning 3D animation, but like, and it's like, oh, I wish I could do that, but like I can't sit myself, like it would probably be really hard to like be on time for everything, and just everything. It's easier to like actually physically go to a place and learn it, because then you can learn the actual tools and everything. But it's such a valuable trait. Like even the people who like make on YouTube animations where they have that both, like when they can combine both, like that's so valuable.
Chris, do you guys know who Chris O'Neill is? Oni NG? So he did this, he was working on this cartoon. It was a pilot for this show called Hellbenders. And what he figured out for backgrounds, which was super duper clever, was to create the backgrounds in 3D so that they would draw over them. But what they would do is they create the whole house in 3D. And then they'd be able to rotate the house, whatever they needed for the shots, and be like, okay, still it? Great, okay. Paint it, go. You know what I mean? So you knew exactly what it looked like. It was freaking, like, that's just, that's what he does. He does crazy, stupid, genius shit like that. But anyways, I think that for me is in fact what I wanted to do for a pilot that I was doing, was it all takes place in one venue. So I was going to hire a 3D artist to render a single location so we could spin it around and move around and be like, the shot's going to happen here, shot's going to happen here, and then just send me the snapshots and I'll get someone to draw over them.
That's a worthwhile.
Or do an effect over it. Fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. 3D.
3D.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thanks for the reminder.
All right.
What's up, brother?
My question to you guys, I guess this might be because I'm more of like a audio music guy who just kind of dabbles in animation, but I always kind of found the whole audio thing in Flash to be kind of like a pain in the ass sometimes. I mean, I know you need it for like voice syncing and stuff, but do you ever like animate like a lot of stuff and then like put it in some other program to deal with like different audio problems or anything like that?
I think that was one of the best lessons we ever learned, because probably for most of us, I'll speak for myself, but getting started, like audio is so overlooked. You just assume like, oh, I'll just put like a punch sound effect here, and drop some like YouTube like epic trailer music behind it. It's a completely different trade, and like if you're trying to get into animation and you already have the audio part down, like you're so far ahead because you already know all the, and it's like it's completely over my head. Like we work with an engineer and like a composer to do all that stuff for us, because we just don't understand it, you know. But yeah, like I wouldn't feel like you're missing something from not doing your audio in Flash, you know. It's you're doing it right to be doing it all in like a DAW or whatever, like in Pro Tools and stuff after the fact. You just have like, you sync your audio and then you cut it all together in like Premiere, and then you do the sound effects and music and stuff last. And I think that's the best
That's
way.
pretty much what I was gonna say. Like I work in Toon Boom, but I put everything together in Audition. Like I cut everything together, I export it all as one audio file and cut it together into scenes, and then animate scene by scene, and then cut all the scenes together with the full audio file in Premiere, and then just export it as one video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the closer you can get to a full audio that you're like snickering at while you're listening to, being like, yeah, I can see this. That to me is the easiest thing to animate to, for me personally.
Yeah.
When I have the audio and I'm confident with the audio, it's like, great, I'm just going to time the visuals to this, you know? And if I can add some additional visual jokes to this audio, great. And then we can adjust the audio.
Probably the best way to work, honestly.
No, but I was going to say, yeah. And then I would say that the opposite is actually, I've found myself in dire straits when I don't have the audio and I'm just staring at a screen of like assets and I'm like, shit. Like I'm just trying to imagine what it is without the audio behind it. It's so much harder. Audio to me has always been pivotal, personally. Personally, for me, it's
I
always.
feel like you can always get lost really easily if you don't have the audio prepared.
Especially
Absolutely.
if it's a commission job and they're just like,
Do whatever.
and you're like, what?
No,
the
but I
fuck
actually
does
meant
that mean?
this, you know.
Yeah. No, fuck you.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Oh, was that a thing?
No, that was not a jab at you.
Totally was.
No, it wasn't a jab
Alright,
at you.
alright.
I did a commission job for these guys, and they did the exact same thing to me that we were talking about would be a nightmare. These fucking assholes. No. It was. They had dialogue. The dialogue was there, and you actually pieced together an audio track.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
and that
did.
was super duper helpful. It really was. Good job. Anyways,
Thanks, Mick.
I love you, Tom.
And do you think that it's common for like animators to hire other people to do audio stuff and
Should be.
mix the music?
Yeah.
If they're not confident, they should.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I've gotten a few audio.
Yeah.
people to do,
You know-
like, music for me or like voices a couple times. Yeah.
If you can do that stuff and you're into this stuff, I would be reaching out because so many of these people don't even realize it's like this whole 40% of the project is just like unaddressed, you know, and unpolished. So if it's something you're interested in, I would like tweet these people, be like, look, I can engineer.
Yeah, the other thing, while we're on this, people that are underappreciated, I would say this: writers. I remember when we were first starting out, like on Newgrounds and other things, a lot of people think they're a solo act. They think they can do everything, and they kind of have to a degree. And the truth is that there is a lot of shitty shit out there that gets shit out, and you have to pick up the shit. And I will say, though, that now that it's moved on to bigger projects, there are things like audio composers. There are things like writers. There are things that when you're making a little short, you don't really give a crap about. But when you're thinking about larger scale projects, even if you have an idea that you're very confident in, there are so many people that you are like, fuck, I wish I had an awesome dialogue person or an awesome character designer. And yet you think it's supposed to be your job to do all these things, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Like that's why, I mean, if you can do it all, great. But I just think that those people did go underappreciated back in the day.
Yeah, and still, like, there's some, like, job, like, for me, it's a compositor. Like, a person to make the animation, like the light, you know, like, make the lighting look fancy. Because I can't, like, After Effects is, like, such a beast of a program that, like, most people who use it, they kind of, they know, like, enough to do nice things, but there's some people who specify in it. And it's for
incredible.
Me, it's hard to find.
No, it's incredible.
People, like, the more vocal you are with those, like, skills, it's like those skills are valuable to other creators.
Lighting, a lighting person in 3D animation.
Yeah.
I would have never fucking known. I got to see this 3D animation. It's like, okay, whatever. They throw a lighting person on it, and you're like, wow. Yeah, it just, all of a sudden, it looks real. It's incredible. You know what I mean? Like, these people who you just, I don't know. I think sometimes you don't think about it because you think you're supposed to do everything. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah.
We got about 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah,
We
well,
got you, sir.
Yo, well, shit, dude. Well, I've been waiting here for like 2 hours.
No, I know. I'm so glad you are here. I'm so glad you got here.
At first, I thought it was gonna be a dumb question, but now that I waited 2 hours, I feel obligated to ask this question.
Do it. You have
Yo,
to.
So, like, how do I girlfriend in 2017, baby? Like, how do I get a girlfriend in 2017?
You mother. You
Hey,
mother.
yo,
You waited 2 hours to ask that?
Baby, yeah, baby.
Get good at animation. Yeah, the girls love animators. The guys like animators. Everybody. It's like cooking. Well, you didn't have to walk away. Thanks.
No, he's set.
didn't
He
even
knows
get
what
an
to do.
answer.
Yeah, well, that wasn't even the real answer.
I said be yourself. That's an answer.
Be yourself. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
No, you don't have
It's
to.
not
do
a good one.
Jaxie, what was that?
He doesn't have to do anything. He's beautiful.
He doesn't have to do it. He's already
What's
beautiful.
your name? What's your name? Dre. Ladies.
You've already got
Damn. Pow.
Hello. What is your question?
Hi.
I like your hair.
I just wanted to ask. I know in the past, most like animators and stuff got together because of Newgrounds, and like that, like community got together. But I feel like it's a lot harder to like find art friends, like near you, or like trying to get in contact with them on the internet because you're like, do I talk to them? Their art's really cool and I want to know them, but like, what do I do? So is there any like good format or like any good websites that like you could find good art friends that could like motivate you? Because it's really hard.
From my experience,
Still
honestly,
Newgrounds,
Newgrounds
Newgrounds.
or Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter is fantastic for that.
I met my
Twitter's
husband on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
I still say Newgrounds.
I met most
New-
of my
Is
current
this a
friends
default
right
reaction?
now on
New
Twitter.
rounds.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
awesome. And, like,
everybody that I'm
meetups.
hanging out
Yeah.
with
Meetups
tonight, I met on Twitter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
This entire like
I-
group right now I met on Twitter.
I didn't meet.
But
you
I
on
think
Twitter.
anyone you
Yeah,
meet
well,
online, I think you can take
meet you on
your
Newgrounds.
relationship to the next level.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
And get
yeah.
on some of that Twitch, Twitch action, and check in on each other, and even like we've had some online parties that weren't even on Twitch, but it was just like drawing games and stuff, just hanging out and stuff like that. I mean, look, it's always going to be kind of tough, but the truth is, with the internet, with Twitter, with Twitch, with everything we've got, it couldn't be easier.
Right.
Like back when I was a kid, we didn't even have the internet. That was a dream.
Same.
Yeah.
A million years old.
Yeah.
But nowadays we have the internet, and I think that it's always going to be kind of tough, whatever to a degree. But I don't think it could be easier now. And I think it's just a matter of reaching out, showing your work, not being afraid if somebody responds or whatever, just putting it out there. If you respect somebody's work, if you dig their stuff, like just be supportive, be there, and it matters. If they're in a stream, you don't need to try super duper hard to get attention, but if you got questions, like be there, and eventually, I don't know. Does that sound
Honestly, the biggest
true?
like
Am I lying?
benefit if you're an artist, if you want to get recognized by other artists, is to continue making stuff
And show your work.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Show your work.
someone's gonna look at you.
Like,
Yeah.
as long as you're not super secretive about it, you're just like not sharing it on really random sites that no one's gonna look at. And
Yeah.
you're, like, still semi-social about it. You'll probably find somebody.
Even if you are on like a random site, like a random arts site, sometimes that's the best place to kind of meet like a tight knit community.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like
You're
I
exclusive.
actually, you remember Sheezy Art?
Yeah.
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 I was on there for a while. You know what?
Yeah, that was like the Newgrounds
Yeah.
before
Where I
Newgrounds
met
for
a
art, or
lot
around
of
that time.
friends
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
got me connected.
Yeah,
I'm
that's right.
still
Before DA, yeah.
connected with. Yeah, Sheezy Art. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dead
Does that
now. But
exist?
no, it's
Just try to
Oh,
like.
good. All right, great.
Unfortunately.
Just try to like add, like get to know people enough to add them on like Discord or Skype or anything, because through private messaging you get like stronger,
Yeah.
friendships and communities and stuff, and just make friends.
Yeah.
Because everything's really interactive nowadays.
I hope that works.
Thank you.
Good luck. Kick ass. Yo, I'm so
We have,
sorry.
like,
We got a couple more people in line. We got one more. We got question. We got time for one more question. We got to make it quick. But you three, if you guys got a question, you guys can come up after we're done, because we got to roll downstairs after. No. But we definitely want to hear the questions. Go for it, brother.
Hey guys.
Hey.
I was wondering, with certain animation frames, what is some of your favorites that you've seen over the years? Have you collected any animation frames? Like, I know some of my favorites are animated done by like Bob Clampett or Chuck Jones. They're very expressive in their facial expressions, especially with, like bugs. Like you can see like the different like furs come when he like twitches or grins. I was like wondering like if you're inspired by kind of that kind of stuff, by any chance?
But frames or by like specific animators?
Like specific animators or even like just certain frames. Like it couldn't just be like the animator as a whole.
I would love to have a Chuck Jones, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
a specific cell or something?
Yeah, like cells.
I just say
A Tasmanian
frames 'cause,
devil
okay,
rotation cell, something.
So many people I know collect those like cells, and I really want to, but I don't know where they find them. Just eBay?
They
Or are
sometimes
just
sell
on
them
the
at
internet?
Otakon. Sometimes.
Thumbs up.
Wait, are we talking about
He has a
Yes.
bunch of Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Jealous.
What?
Remember that
Actually,
cartoon?
I've been looking for a really good like a cell from Ah Real Monsters. You guys remember? It's like my favorite cartoon, and I've been looking for a cell of all three of them, like an official one, but I haven't been able to find it yet.
No.
That would be my ideal.
I've seen them. I guess I wish I had one. There's definitely artists and stuff I go back to though, and like find the same like reference pictures and stuff like that. Like, obviously everyone up here is like a disciple of Ren and Stimpy.
I love fucking John K.
Pretty standard. No.
No, I've only seen one episode of Ren and Stimpy.
Oh my God!
And it was like
Oh, you have it.
last year of college. I saw the. I'm not kidding. I don't like. John
How did you
K's
not
style.
accidentally watch an episode of Ren and Stimpy?
Am I just gonna out myself? I don't like John K's style, and I get compared to it all the time. I accept the hatred that I bring upon me, but I respect him as an artist. I just never, and I get compared to him all the time. I'm like,
I don't know how you get compared to him. I feel like I don't even know who to compare you to. I mean, I love your style. It's more like a Disney type style,
yeah,
but like.
that's what I figured.
Yeah, I wouldn't think
it's
of it as a
always-
John K style.
I get
That's
it,
like someone comparing me to Ego Raptor. You know,
Literally,
there's
literally.
no
Never.
similarity.
I've literally gotten compared to John K more than any other artist.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they're just
That's
trying
why
to.
it's weird to me.
That's probably just like the only animator they can think of at the time, and they're just like, yeah.
He's got an like I will say like he's got an amazing style. Like seeing it later, I was like, okay. But like the show as a kid.
So you have seen it.
I've seen it now. I've seen it now.
Shit.
I've seen it now.
Well, there we go.
And with that, my friend, it is 7:30. We are done with the panel, guys.
I just want to say
yeah.
one more thing.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Mick for enjoying the Sleepycast remix, and thanks to Jeff for the commissions. I really appreciate
Your remixes are amazing. Thank you, sir. Very
I
talented.
really
Talk
appreciate
about music. Talk about music. Thank you guys for coming.